Okay, so we got a viewer feature here today. I'm not sure what's in here, but there's a big old text box you're looking at there. So
Yay.
let's have a go of this.
So, says, what's up, Remy? Hope you're well and happy. Well, moderately miserable. Here are a few tattoos of mine, some of my new stuff. I've had lots of bad ones done in my younger years. Planning to get a bodysuit going with my back piece and stomach tattoo. Both my arms will be getting blacked out soon, and probably my chest, because why not? After the blackout,
Yeah, just keep her going.
I'm not sure what my next move, but the man that did my back and stomach, Derek Baker at Metal Machine at Cape Town, South Africa, is keen to continue what he started, and I'm pretty much giving him free rein to do his thing. Nice. My legs are patchwork and good and bad stuff, but I'll tackle them at a later time. My back is an artwork by the artist Konstantin Korobov, and was done by Derek Baker at Metal Machine in Cape Town. All the color neo-trad, not really sure what to call it, was done by Shane Copeland at Mystery Fun Club in Cape Town. These guys got some cool names. Most of these are all fresh pictures except the back. Thanks for taking a look. Much love, Mikey.
So I was just say before we get into these tattoos, as I always say, when you start blackout, it's very rare that it ends with what you think it will. So you'll probably end up doing, if you end up doing your chest and your arms, you'll probably end up doing
everything.
A lot. Well, maybe not everything.
I mean, everything very visible, I feel like.
Usually, like people will get like one black arm or something, but if they get more than that, it ends up being a lot, right? Like you end up getting into like absurd amounts of it. It's very addictive and very clean looking. And especially when you look at a nice solid black arm next to some like work that's not quite perfect, it makes everything else look worse by comparison.
True.
So yeah, have fun with that. We'll see where that goes. And if you do end up doing that, send a follow-up as well. But this tattoo on his leg here, I quite like this.
I do too.
Yeah, it's very it's like, I wouldn't quite call it neo-trad though, cause neo-trad still has like more like traddy colors. This is kind of like new schooly in a way.
Nah, I don't know.
It's not got the proportions of a new school tattoo, but it's just kind of doing its own thing.
Right, I like it.
It's not quite. Sometimes like we rely too heavily on these titles, and like this doesn't really scream trad at me, right?
I'd say this hits more trad stylistically, but in a like neo trad kind of color palette. Because sometimes you get these soft tones.
I don't know that it's either. It's just kind of like it's bold lines.
Yeah.
It's bold line and cartoony.
Anyways.
But like we tend to like lean into these labels quite heavily, and sometimes they just don't work. I really like it though.
It's a fun cat girl.
Yeah.
With a cat around her shoulders. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's quite nice. I'm sure this was like a flash piece or something. It looks like it was anyway.
Super fun.
Yeah. I mean, I got nothing else to say. It's like his legs are patchwork. He said that, so it's like it's already been addressed. That obviously, like, you know, you'll figure that out at some point. All I can really think is you're going to have some strange gap fillers or something in here, or no, who knows? Maybe more Blackwork. Right. So, but yeah, they got some really cool tricks in this piece.
All right.
So, and then
next one.
Yeah, like it's good patchwork. Like
I like the message here.
Yeah.
Happiness is imaginary.
Well, I'm sure that's a line from the show.
Yes, but it's true.
But like, I only watched a bit of Bob's Burgers.
Yeah,
like to me, I kind of lost it with all the cartoons that come out of Fox, and like I kind of got over Family Guy and all that stuff. American Dad. It was like it gets too much, and they go on for so long, and it's just like
everybody's just trying to be the Simpsons.
Well, I think Simpsons set a bad precedent.
Yeah.
Because that should have ended a long time ago.
I think so too.
Opinion. Like the first 10 seasons of The Simpsons was some god tier TV. Like actually, and especially like I still have like probably the first 12 or 13 seasons of Simpsons downstairs.
Yeah.
And like the first season of The Simpsons was some of the best TV I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. Like it was very, very good. Kind of wholesome in a way too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like it was like after a certain point, I think shows become like completely absurd.
I just think like you have more nostalgia for some more random adult cartoons.
Yeah, I do, but even those, they didn't carry on for that long.
No,
Like,
most of them are
Space
season
Ghost,
or
Coast
two.
to Coast, you know, like
Yeah.
Aqua Teen went on for too long, but
Yeah.
like, you know. Anyway, I like all of the skin breaks for highlights in this. These are brighter than any white highlights you're going to find. Mm-hmm. Look at the little negative space in the ropes just to give it light.
Yeah.
Like it's very nice work.
It is very
It's
nice.
very nice work. Again, like it's small and you're going to have to, you know, stars and dots, but for what it is, it's really nice, and like it perfectly nailed the recognizable factor, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you know this is Bob's Burgers. You don't need a banner to tell you that, right? So it's good, and like I'm not even a mega fan of that. So
No, and it gets the message across, like exactly what you want.
it's cool. I wish I knew the end to the joke, but
Yeah, me too. And then there's this Billy, which is a nun with an upside down cross and some devil
where is
horns
his belly button? I'm struggling to find it. That's
Isn't
kind
it
of
right
cool.
here?
Is it under there?
Yeah, I think because do you
Getting
see how
some
the
glare on this picture.
do you
but-
see how the rosary is like disrupted?
Yeah,
Yeah, but
it's pretty cool.
it's blending really well. So
I mean, it's pretty obvious to me how you add more to this, because like they shade it out, and it's like you could do more faces,
more portraits.
more portraits
More,
would be the direction, or you could build a scene.
Yeah, more dark imagery.
Yeah, you could do kind of different things with this. So I like that there's the way ahead is in mind, you know. Mm-hmm. Like you can kind of continue this if you want. This would incorporate well into Blackwork too. It's like the cathedral scene I had on my back. That was borderline Blackwork. Like it was realism, but it was very, very dark.
Yeah.
And so it married well into the blackout around it. Like my arms and like all around my torso for a long time was all black, and like that piece fit in really well with all of that. Mm-hmm. Same thing, like my old chest piece was good. It was always okay with the black, but when we switched to no gray shading in like 2020, I had it all black shaded because there was some gray shading in it. Mm-hmm. And then it was just like super dark black and gray fits in well with blackout. Like it's very seamless. So
It does.
soft black and gray, however, blackout makes it look terrible.
It does. It like really washes it out.
Yeah.
I really agree with that.
You
need
can't
to
have soft black and gray next to
You have to
Blackwork.
have like a really high contrast.
Yeah.
Almost black and skin. Like almost no midtones in there to
And this
really.
one will be a little light in places, but it's going to stay pretty dark.
Yeah, I think they went on the darker side, and I think that is going to work out really well when it's healed.
So, and then we have random ass kitty cat hand tattoo. This guy is like, he can't decide whether he's fun and kitschy or like super dark, right? With the blackout and all this.
Yeah.
This would look so funny next. Like, I think it could be done, but I think it would look so funny on the end of a blackout sleeve.
Yeah.
Right, you got two of these.
little,
And then,
little kitty cats.
like blackout underneath it too, like your fingers, and just leave the cat.
Yeah, that's
Even
kinda
if
funny.
you just do it for just even a minute, it would be funny to see. It really, like blackout pops trad tattoos
This
too.
is I think this is the cat from Aristocats too.
I actually have no idea.
Yeah, I think it is.
I'm sure there's an
I
end to
could be
this.
wrong. I think it's like a stylized version of like she looks real grumpy, but it looks like the little girl cat from Aristocats. It's a Disney movie.
Yeah, I remember the
You
movie.
know, O'Malley.
Yeah. I just don't know any of the
Then
characters.
there's the three little cats. I don't remember. She's like really posh. But anyways, I'm sure there's some sort of joke happening here.
That's pretty nice. I like this tattoo. I'd like to see how it healed. This is a fresh picture, as he said. But yeah, and then we have this huge wolf and sheep or lamb back piece. I think it's maybe too many wolves. I think this could have been told with maybe one or two less wolves, but they are decently sized. It's not too hard to make out what they are. It's just like, I think it needs to be a little harder. This would work well with blackout as well. Mm-hmm. But what I would do is I would get rid of this soft shading in between places and just go super dark,
Yeah.
right? Because like if you don't do that, it's gonna look kind of weak in proportion to the blackout, and it's very easy to see how you can kind of build black around this
Yeah.
too.
I think like for me, symbolically, it would have done better with one wolf, one sheep, because like typically this imagery is used to, like talk about like the more primitive side kind of taking over the more innocent side, and it just seems like, when you need that many wolves to like conquer a lamb, it just doesn't feel quite right.
I don't know if they needed it. It seems like they're like in a frenzy
Yeah.
or something, right? But like,
Yeah, to devour.
yeah, but like I don't know if they needed this many wolves to tell that story, and
Yeah.
I think it's more striking if there's a few less. But
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to say as well.
like it communicates its point either way. I just think that like having a background in it of like a night sky or something, or you could see some of the viscera perhaps of the body being torn apart. That would be a little better, I think. Right now, I think it's a little bit flat. I really like it. Like overall, I like the idea. I like the execution of it's pretty good, and like the theme is cool. I just think it looks a little unfinished, and I don't think that that you couldn't do more with it. Like, how cool would it be if there was some pops of red in this for blood and stuff? And he's got color on him already, right?
Yeah, right? So why not throw a little bit in here?
And maybe make the wolves have crazy looking eyes. Right?
Yeah, like
some
red eyes or yellow eyes.
Well, that would make the message that's happening here a little more potent.
Yes,
Right?
agreed.
Because like these wolves look like they're mad right now.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like, so there's some things you could do to make that point. But like I said, this guy here again, he's in between.
He's got like tattoo ADD.
I mean, I get it, because I like a lot of styles of tattooing too. Like, I could fill 9 bodysuits with different styles, and like, because even here, I like everything he showed me, but they're all distinctly different. And I also like his idea of blackout, right? So it's like, yeah, man, I would be wearing different shit every day. Like, there's too many things to love. When people ask me, like, oh, you must hate your old tattoos because you cover it. It's like, no, I just like so many tattoos.
Yeah,
I think the people who say that don't like this enough.
there is a lot of tattoos on your old bodysuit that you still talk about very fondly.
I liked most of it.
Yeah, it's just like, I think, and like I'm even getting to that point where eventually you start running low on real estate, but you like tattoos.
You got lots of space
You
left.
start running low. Like even I've talked about like blacking out my one arm.
I think the people who get very, very minimalistic, safe tattoos and they stop, they don't need to get tattoos. A lot of I think tattoos, I'm glad that it's happened, that they become very like conventional and everybody has them, but I think it brought in a lot of people who don't actually enjoy like what tattoos actually are. Like, it brought in a lot of like kind of, I don't know what the word would be. I don't want to call them casuals or
Normies
whatever.
are all
but like
bad
it's
words
just they
for
don't
it.
actually like this art form.
Yeah.
Like, they don't. And so it doesn't make sense to them when they see people who enjoy getting tattoos.
Over and over again, yes.
Right, like in general. Like I like so many styles, and the more this evolves, there's more styles that I end up loving. Like there are things that are being done now that weren't being done 5 years ago.
I know.
Let alone 10, 15,
I know.
20
Some of
years
it I
ago.
wish I had seen
Well, it didn't
years
exist.
ago. I know, but that's the thing though, right? Is it like it makes it a bit tricky to really plan what you're going to put on your body.
Well, and then I think also like very complacent or otherwise checked out people who don't have the gas to go there anymore. They'll just use excuses like, wow, my tattoos tell the story of my life. Things like, yeah, so do mine.
Yeah.
So do
just
mine.
a little more randomly.
Well, not even. Like, sometimes it's just like, what is meaning anyway? It's whatever you think.
Yep.
Just because you have a lion with the crown on your fucking shoulder doesn't mean I think I'm going to understand it's for your grandfather.
No,
You know
well,
what I mean?
exactly.
Like, just because you know that, in quotations, doesn't mean anyone else gives a shit. And to the rest of the world, it's just a stupid lion.
I think it's okay just to cover yourself in pretty pictures. Really.
Yeah, well, that's all it is anyway. It's all just an excuse to do things you like.
Yep.
Your grandfather doesn't give a fuck about that lion.
Just adorn it. Let's talk about
Yeah, I
this,
really like the skillful use of white here.
panther here. Would you say it's meant to be kind of chromy? Like kind of like a chrome
frosted.
Yeah, okay, like
I
more
think.
frosted.
Because, like, I know what that's going to tame out to.
Like a kind of
All those
icy.
blues are going to have, like, an ice blue kind of shine to them.
Yeah.
And the way that it's gray shaded will have a bit of a metallic feel to it as well.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking if it's meant to be sort of chromy.
It's just like the tattooer almost has to trust their shading when you do things like this because it's just a touch, right? Like you're just playing with shades and embellishing things, and some of it's punched in, but a lot of this is very subtle. Like even a lot of the red in there is not packed, right?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of it is implied, but it's a cool tattoo.
Really cool.
Yeah, and then like varying quality trad tattoos on the leg here.
Yeah.
Again, like this guy just likes tattoos. Like when I see these things, it doesn't make me go, figure out your style, bud. Get it together. It's like, oh, you like tattoos.
Yeah, you like tattoos? You like getting tattooed.
Yeah, that's all that means.